Brent is my guy. I'm a toxic.
Toxic.
Yeah, I'm a toxic.
You are
king.
toxic.
I'm a toxic king, bro.
I love Brent Fires, man.
Man, Brent is amazing. Brent is amazing.
That's so funny.
Every album.
Yeah, welcome again to Everybody's Got a Podcast, but everybody don't need a mic. I am your host, Victor James, and I am so excited. First of all, college football is almost here. We are in the wake of college football season. We are in college football season, and I am joined here today by a good friend of mine, fellow NABJ member, sports anchor and reporter, podcast host, radio host. What do you not do? My guy, Cory Mose, everybody.
Appreciate it. What do I not do? That's a good question.
What do you not do? That's the first question I'm going to ask you today.
Question. What do I not do? I don't climb rocks.
Facts.
Not doing that.
Facts.
Not doing that.
You're not going to Austin Boulder Company.
Definitely not. I don't know why people do that. I don't like to enforce pain on myself. That too. Like I don't understand. I don't like risking my life.
I will climb some rocks.
Okay.
Not outside. Not where there's actual danger.
Gotta be indoors.
Gotta be at
controlled environment.
Gotta be a controlled environment. It's more of a workout than anything. I hate run clubs. Like I think that I don't understand why people do that.
Yeah.
Like for everybody that does it, all the power to you.
Yeah.
I hate running. So
look, bro, you're talking to a guy who did cross country.
Right.
And ran track since I was 5. And after I got my academic scholarship.
Done.
Yeah, bro. What?
When's the last time you ran like a mile?
Lord have mercy. Man, it had to have been years, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't.
See the appeal.
I'm sick of running, bro. I mean, you know how many miles are on my body since 5 years old? 5 to 18.
Enough to last you for the rest of your life.
You know what I'm saying? Because I ran long distance. So it's
right.
like to run long distance, you have to run long distances to get ready for the race. The race is already long. I got to run 2 miles in the race. So you can imagine training-wise, if I had to have the endurance to last 2 miles at full speed, that means I got to run 10 miles in practice every day at 6 a.m. before school. Sweating. Axe was used a lot back in that day.
Yeah, because high school boys don't take showers.
Oh man,
just throw on the deodorant.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I felt bad. My junior year, that's when I grew up.
Boy was in there musty as hell.
Man, wondering why no girls want to talk to me.
Facts.
Knowing good well I'm too scared to talk to them anyways.
Facts. Big facts. Oh man, as you can see, me and this dude like the same person. So like we gonna get after it today. He does, like I said, he does a jack of all trades. He has a lot of different, things in different pots. But I really appreciate you joining me today, man. And we're gonna get into it here. Just first of all, like, how you doing, man? It's been we haven't seen each other in a couple of weeks, after NABJ. So how's everything been going since being back and landed and getting back into the workspace?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a whirlwind because right when we got back, like football season's here. So I mean, the first day I got back, I had to do, Texas availability, went to practice. And, it's weird because I have a new schedule now, so since we moved some stuff around. So now I'm off Wednesdays and Thursdays or Thursday, Fridays until football season starts, like officially. And a lot more people are available on Thursdays and Fridays than Mondays and Tuesdays. They used to be on old off days.
Right.
And so, like, a lot of people trying to ask my time. And I'm not used to that on my off days. I'm used to like just being by myself and doing chores and handling that. And I'm a people pleaser. So when they say like, "Hey, you want to go do this?" Yeah, I could do that. Knowing good and well, like
once you hit 30, that goes away. My meter for bullshit get real low.
All right.
So like if people want to do shit and I'm not feeling it, I'm like, nope.
Say less.
I'll be like, hey man, I'll catch you on the next one.
I need that.
Knowing damn near they ain't gonna catch me on the next one. Might be the third or fourth one.
Yeah, somebody called me lazy the other day because, like, yeah, man. Well, the thing about it, ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy?
It's wild.
On my off days, like, I don't want to go do something. Oh, you're lazy. You just want to be lazy? You want to be a bum all day at the crib? Yes.
But yeah, somebody calling you lazy is wild.
Yeah.
Do whatever the hell you want to on your day off. It's your day off.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm a big cleaning guy too on my day off.
Oh, that's good.
Turn on some music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clean some. You know, I'm a big like mop the floor guy.
R&B.
What type of R&B?
Yeah.
It depends on the vibe. Like,
okay, all right.
I've been into Lucky Day lately.
Okay, everybody is.
Yeah. So now, mind you, though, I've been on since Painted.
All right, no. Not saying that like everybody is like you not you regular or whatever.
Yeah.
I was telling this to somebody the other day too. Like, I like Lucky Day.
Okay.
I don't consider myself a Lucky Day fan.
Okay. I
because I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, his voice for me is not like for me.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a very particular sound.
Mm-hmm.
But he's phenomenal, like, musician. Like, he's very talented and everything like that too. So
yeah, I don't like his. Like, I haven't really gotten into his new stuff. I only go back to Painted.
Okay.
Like, that's like the one thing in my
for sure. That's your classic Lucky Day album.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I was in college. Like, that kind of got me through a lot. I used to listen to Painted like every day.
Yeah, I got one of my homeboys he's a Lucky Day fan. I said that to him. And he thought I'd like slapped his mom or something. Like, he was upset, and I was just like, damn, bro. Like, he's cool. Like, I like him. Like, cool. You know, like, but it's not like I like more of a smooth.
Well, you talked about voice, Giveon.
I like Giveon too, but again, like his voice still a very.
You don't like his voice?
Very no. I like a very particular sound.
Okay.
Still not necessarily for me. Like, I got like maybe 2 Giveon songs at the ready. Like, but I don't have an album.
There's a lot.
I know, but I just.
Are you into? Cause I'm really big into female artists.
Oh, Tim's.
Okay.
I love Tim's. I love her.
Gotcha.
You want to like go OG with it?
Janae?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Aiko. Yeah, she from the crib. Like, what you mean? Like,
let's.
She West Coast. You don't really know that, but like,
no, not at all.
So her mom and aunt actually went to high school with my uncle.
Oh.
Yeah, like, and he said they was bad too. He said they
was in the family.
He said they was bad, and I was like, that
sense.
checks out. That checks out. But yeah, Janae Aiko. I'm big into like Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
You know, Aretha Franklin. Yeah. Oh yeah, Aretha Franklin, Marlena Shaw. Like, I like smooth. Mm-hmm. So like my R&B, I'm very much like, you know, Chris beat. You know, maybe an OG kind of sound or whatever. Like, I love. I mean, not so much women, but I love Leon Bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love Leon Bridges because he just has that old school type of sound. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you that.
What's kid's name? Is October London or whatever his name? I think his name is something like that. But he has an album literally doing Marvin Gaye covers.
Brent is my guy. I'm a
you're
toxic.
Toxic.
Yeah, I'm a toxic.
You are
king.
toxic.
I'm a toxic king, bro.
I love Brent Fires, man.
Man, Brent is amazing.
That's so funny.
Every album. I got it all.
Oh, you're
and
toxic.
Sonder.
You're toxic. Yeah, I have Sonder too.
Yeah.
That's when I got on. It was like I was like, ooh.
My homie showed me Clouded.
Okay.
That's when I was like, and he was spitting that mother bar for bar. And I'm just like, you're toxic.
Sick.
I mean, I think he has one line there. It's just like, I've been smashing superstars since I was 18.
Crazy.
And just like, you weren't doing that. Like, I'm talking to my homie, like, I know you since you were 18. Like, you wasn't doing that. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? You saying these lyrics with all your heart.
Whatever relates to you, I guess.
Yeah,
you know, my little brother just went to his first concert, and it was Brent Fires. Oh. And I was like, he 18. So I'm like, oh no. Like, who broke your heart, bro? Who made you this way?
No, because you do got to get to it.
What's your origin story?
Yeah, you do got to get to it.
To be like, because he asked me, like, I don't know. Like, he was like, you know who Brent Fires is? I was like, bro, let's not.
How do you know?
Yeah, I was like, how do you know who Brent Fires is? And he was like, that's me. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can have it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could, you know, like, that's my era. Like, you know what I'm saying? But speaking about that, like, you know, born and raised in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think you got 3 older sisters?
Yeah, man.
3 older sisters. Just talk a little bit about, like, that upbringing and, you know, what part of that stays with you and how that shaped you.
Got bullied a lot.
By your sister?
Yeah, I got bullied a lot.
I got bullied by my older sister, too. Shout out Des White.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, but I will say also, like, I felt a lot of love. Like, because, women love hard. And so, just being cuddled up all the time with them and, like, when their friends come over, because there's a big gap. So, like, my oldest, I believe we're 11 years apart.
Oh, wow.
And then the second we're 10 years apart. And then the one closest to me, we're still 4 years apart.
Oh, wow.
So, like, no one was really, like, close in age. And so, like, when the friends come over, like, I was still super young. And so I'm just, like, the cute little brother. So I've always had girls just in the house at all times. And my dad always worked late. So he would never be home until 9, 10.
Yeah.
And so my mom's a teacher. So she'll be home right when I got home, And then
so
eventually I went to her school.
House full of women.
Literally. And so I think as time went on, though, I started to understand the benefits of that. Being able to be okay with a bathroom full of fake eyelashes and makeup all over the counter and hair everywhere, like, that was normal for me, And so now as I've gotten older, and especially in college, I recognize, like, there's a lot of dudes that have no idea how to handle that. Don't know how to handle, like, oh, there's a tampon in the trash can. Like, yeah, bro, they do
dudes
that.
Mate. Like,
yeah, bro.
We really as a people, as a gender, like the things that women got to deal with and go through, like, would crumble us.
Yeah, that was something I started to recognize as I've gotten older, and now to this day, I find myself, oddly enough, more comfortable around my female coworkers compared to my male counterparts, especially like in group settings. And it's weird because I'm also part of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, and that fraternity low key has helped me get more comfortable in those spaces, oddly enough. And I think
with men,
yeah. Because like I said, I grew up around women, so
yes.
I know how to talk to girls. I know how to conversate with them, make them feel safe, make them feel comfortable. But with guys, I feel like there's like a competitive factor all the time with us in big group settings, and so. Started to learn that in college as well, how to be in those spaces. But to this day, I'm seeing the benefits of, a lot of women have been through stuff. And a lot of men at this point in our lives have screwed them over and have mistreated them. And so they have their walls up all the time.
Oh, patriarchy.
Man, it's crazy.
It's thick.
It's crazy. But when they meet someone that is comfortable in their skin, and they meet someone who does know how to talk to them and not try to have sex with them, not try to have any alternative motive, they can see that and they feel comfortable around that. So I'm grateful for being able to be raised in a household with women, because now I don't feel uncomfortable in those spaces. I embrace those things.
Growing up around women,
yeah,
helps shape you in your viewpoints and how you're able to be comfortable and be able to, like, be that safe space for women is beautiful, because I feel like, again, I think that's why we always have gotten along. Like, the men that I hang out with ain't about that patriarchy. Yeah. So, like, you know what I'm saying? If I see you, like, saying some I'm gonna say something, like, you know what I mean? So that that's something I've always appreciated about you since I've known you. Just keeping it going with the upbringing. You mentioned earlier, like, you have always had sports in your DNA.
Yeah.
Like, you've been doing some type of athletics since you were younger. Talk about being a distance runner. You talked about it a little bit already, but just talk about more about, like, how, those values you learned by being a distance runner, being an athlete, kind of led you down the path that you were on. And then, what are those things that you still, like, pick from those things that you learned that you apply today?
Yeah, I make a joke a lot with people, and I've told my dad this. My mom hates this joke, but
moms hate jokes.
So my dad was an All-American sprinter at Mississippi State.
Really?
He was that guy. Like, he won, like, in high school, he won, like, Mr. Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Like, he kick return, punt return. All-state corner.
So I don't need to cut you off, but like, we'll talk about this more in a little bit. I'm not as high on SEC football. I think we talked about this a little bit. I'm not as high on SEC football as everybody else is. I think it's a really good conference. I don't think it's been drag out the best for however long people say it's been the best. I think it's had some years.
And top heavy.
I've been very top. It's been very top heavy. But track and baseball and softball, the SEC is a problem. Top to bottom, great programs. Mm-hmm. For your dad to run 100 meters in the SEC is crazy.
Yeah.
Even at that time when it wasn't at what years did he run there?
80s.
So not as big of a conference, which made it even more difficult because there's fewer teams.
Yeah. So the talent was more concentrated.
Right.
And so he the 1, the 2, the 4. His relay broke one of the records. I don't know if it's still standing.
Sure.
But dude.
What's your pop's name?
Carl Mose.
Carl Mose.
His real name is Carrenseijah. Carrenseijah.
That's the best name of all time.
Carrenseijah.
That is a great name.
Bro, he hates it.
What?
Well, I don't know if he hates it. He just doesn't go by it. He goes by Carl.
A
lot of it is because he don't know who can pronounce it, and then
that's fair.
He also
probably people like teachers up his name probably as a kid.
He messed up his name. He said it took him in second grade to be able to spell it right.
His own name.
I'm like, dang, pops, my bad. I didn't know you struggled with spelling your own name. But yeah, so he's an All-American sprinter, and all his kids are long distance runners. So I tell my mom, you slowed our genes down. That's why she hates the joke. But it's facts though. And my mom was an athlete. She was a cheerleader.
Okay.
So I pay all respect to all cheerleaders. I think that is definitely a sport.
Oh, facts.
And so that's a running joke. But at the end of the day, it's how did all of us end up being long distance runners when we have this in our genes?
Especially because distance running sucks.
Yes.
It is the worst
I hate it.
thing.
I used to get so mad.
I'd much rather sprint. I'd much rather my cardio has always come with my choice of cardio, I should say, is more explosive movement. Ladders, boxing, hoops, things I can move dynamically in a short period of time and break a sweat. Distance, you gotta your body has to naturally warm up. It's not you can warm up before you distance run, obviously, so you always can kind of break a sweat a little bit before. But the habit of it, you don't the workout is long. It's not you can't. It's you can run 10 minutes or whatever, and usually you can break a sweat or whatever. But for you to really get a good sweat going distance running, you gotta really push yourself. And B, it's just time.
It's out there for a long time.
It just takes time.
Yeah, so you could imagine those summer track workouts.
In Houston?
Yes.
Yeah,
bro.
nah.
Yes, bro.
How did you do it?
Bro, I got dark. That melanin got dark, boy. I'm still dark, you know what I'm saying? But I was dark when I was a kid. Oh, man.
We don't support colorism on Everybody Got a Podcast.
Yeah,
Facts.
But, man, I really appreciate it. I appreciated the school years, and I hated summer. It's funny because people be in, lunchroom talking about cafeteria. Can't wait for summer. We got 2 more weeks. I used to hate that. No, y'all don't understand. 2 more weeks, then hell starts for me. Summer track begins. So no, I want to stay in school. But mind you, it was a fun time growing up on the track, man. Made a lot of close friends, a lot of friends to this day. Grew up running with I don't know if you know Holton Hill. He's used to be corner here at Texas. Became corner for the Minnesota Vikings. Then had some time with the Cowboys for a little bit. But we were childhood best friends, and we started on the track together. And building relationships through summer track is something I still take to this day. A lot of my friends that we all was in the heat together.
In the trenches.
Yeah.
In the trenches,
we were 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. So that is something I've taken away from my time on the track. But then also, I played football as well. So I think being at a program like Pearland, I went to Pearland High School.
Shout out Pearland High School.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Solid program.
Yeah, land of the Pears. We call it the 30P.
That's crazy. Wait, Pearland's mascot is the Pears?
No, it's not.
Oh, I was about to say,
it's
bro.
The Oilers. I don't know why. We have no oil out there. We're not West Texas, but, it's whatever. It's better than being a Pear as a mascot, so I'll take an Oiler. But our stadium was called The Rig.
Okay.
So that was kind of dope.
That is kind of dope. I would say, being a Pear would suck when you're in it, but that might be one of the best mascots. Because if you just had a over there dressed as a Pear, and you got the helmet could just be a pear. You have to put a pear on it. It could just be a full pear. The colors are like green and yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah, that lucky would go kind of hard.
I would fuck with that.
Yeah.
That would just be funny.
Yeah.
And then you could just beat somebody and be like, we the pairs. Like, that's funny as hell, bro.
Take a bite out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm on board with you now.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I can picture, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm like this.
When NCAA was first out, like, I used to create colleges.
Okay, yeah.
That's like I used to like to build a team.
Yeah.
So when they took that away, I was very upset. I believe they brought it back. So like, but I think now you might have to be online, that's what happened. They took build a team, create a team, and put it only online or whatever. But I used to do stuff like that. Like they used to they weren't be silly. They weren't silly. So like, I think now once I get 25, I'm gonna just build a funny program.
Yeah,
I think that would just be hilarious. But
if I can add one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Just my high school was so diverse.
Okay.
And you know, Houston's the fourth most diverse city in the nation.
Yeah.
So like, I always grew around different cultures. I had homies, best friends with Asians, best friends with Hispanics, whites, blacks. It didn't matter. And so now I see the fruit of that when I'm out doing my job, because I feel like I can talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I feel like I can have a conversation and relate to anyone.
You could hold space.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people talk about the way I'm able to build relationships. I think it all started back in my grade school years. You know, just being around so many different people that don't look like me, but also people that did look like me. Was able to relate to my own culture, but then start to learn other people's cultures. I love the Asian culture, and we talked about that when you went on your trip. But I had a lot of homies that showed me game about the Asian culture and stuff like that. And so that's when I started to kind of get into it in my high school days. Hispanics, my best friend that lives across the street from each other, he's Hispanic. We've known each other since we were 2 years old. And so like that, those type of relationships that helped mold me to now when I'm in these spaces of media and I have to talk to a black athlete, I have to talk to a white athlete, I have to talk to a Hispanic athlete. Like, I can talk to them, and I'm not standoffish about it. I'm more embracing it, you know. And I think that's something that I had no idea would play a factor 20 years down the line, but it has, and I'm grateful for it. So yeah, I love my upbringing. I love where I'm from. And my mom, she got on me when I got the job here, because in my bio I usually put like I'm from Houston, but she's like, you need to start saying you're from Pearland. Like, yeah. And I was like, you're right. To be honest, like, I am from Pearland.
Yeah, that's how it is for me, because I'm from Fontana, California. Mm-hmm. To the Inland Empire, shout out to the IE. Like, for a long time, I think most people from California will just say they're from LA. Like, they'll say they're from LA, they'll say they're from the Bay, because they just kind of try to, like, you know, put a marker down where people can, like, identify. Yeah. But to that point, like, I grew up in Fontana, California, and it was also very diverse. Like, a lot of people just trying to, you know, move out to the sticks to give their kids a better life. But yeah, back to you, like, just being, again, talking about basketball.
Yeah.
You are from Houston. Mm-hmm. Pearland, stand up. Pearland, stand up. Home of the Pears. No. Home of the Oilers. I don't want to get that trending started. Appreciate that. Yeah. Big Texans fan. Mm-hmm. Big Astros. First of all, you're welcome for CJ Stroud.
You're welcome.
I keep telling you that. Ranch Cucamonga.
Shout out Lovie Smith, man. Shout out Lovie Smith, man. Winning that game.
You're not here without Lovie Smith.
We're not here without. We would have Bryce Young, which I like Bryce. I think Bryce is going to be able to become something that's a good quarterback in the league. His first year was just with the coach who looked miserable.
Yeah, Frank Reich looked
miserable.
I mean, the beard didn't help.
Not at all.
It was clean, but like, he looked destitute.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he hadn't taken a shower in days. And so, your best receiver is Adam Thielen. You know, like,
that part.
Come on, bro. But look, CJ Stroud is different. And so, like, thankful for Lovie Smith for winning that last game when the whole city of Houston did not want him to win that last game. But
They got you, CJ Stroud.
God got us.
Yeah, shout out Lovie Smith. Shout out David Culley. They
put a hire for like
they got a
DEI.
Yeah, they got a real bad rap. I feel like that was a terrible situation to be in for both parties. They were definitely hired to get fired.
Literally.
And that's what actual DEI hiring looks like.
Yeah.
You know, we'll hire a guy just cause, and then we're gonna fire him just so we can fill it and then fire him. They don't. Nobody lasts if they're actual DEI hire. But you being a CJ Strauss from Ranch Cucamonga, California, I want to make sure Ranch Cucamonga High School. Want to let it be known. West Coast, y'all always try to get us for our quarterbacks, but
what you mean, Jared Goff?
Exactly, California.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all got dudes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the rest of the country, comes and picks our quarterbacks and takes them where.
Oh, it takes them away.
Takes them away from us. You know what I'm saying?
Whose fault is that though? That's USC's fault. That's UCLA's
No, I love it.
Okay,
but it furthers my point. What we're going to talk about later is that like California high school football. I mean, our quarterbacks are kind of second to none. You can really you can debate your mama if you want to, but outside of Patrick Mahomes, man, like
Kyler.
I love Kyler.
That's what I'm saying.
Matt Stafford too.
Stafford
too. But Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Stroud, Bryce. I can keep going. I know there's more.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later.
That's crazy. You got a good point there.
Yeah, but no, it's remarkable that you're a fan of the Astros and the Texans, but you're a Lakers fan.
Yeah, bro.
How did that happen?
Big Kobe guy. Loved Kobe. I actually wrote a paper in high school about why Kobe's better than LeBron for dual credit English. In that class, I wrote that Kobe Bryant essay to show you, that shows you how much I really cared about him. But I loved Kobe's competitiveness, and I have it to this day. Like the fact that he wanted to be the best at everything. I really resonated with that because I wanted to be whatever I did. I wanted to be great at it, and if I wasn't good at something, I either one, stop doing it because I don't want people to see that I wasn't good at it, or two, learn how to do it. And so, depending on how much I cared, So I really appreciated Kobe's tenacity. I appreciate his leadership and how he just kept it real. And so, that's how I became a fan. Then I went out to LA for Junior Olympics one year. Was able to go to the stadium
as a distance runner, oh wow, all right.
Ran the 1500 and then the 4x8. I went to multiple Junior Olympics.
What you mean? That's crazy.
A lot of people don't know that.
Don't just say that casually. Another one. Let's do another one. That's crazy, bro.
Well, it was mandatory in my household. With my sisters, they were like that.
Okay.
My sisters were really in the paper every week. Won every cross
constantly
country.
Winning, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even competition out there until they went to state. And so I was in their shadows, in their footsteps, and so they set the foundation. My dad's like, look, we're not paying for college. You either get a scholarship or you're gonna go right down the street, to community college. And so we all took that to heart, and we all we all want to go to college. And so they became really, really good, man. They got all scholarships at UT Arlington, and that's where I got familiar with the school. And luckily for me, I was smart, so I was trying to find another way out. I was I can't, because I saw the way the college athlete grind. And much respect to you.
It's just that.
It is ridiculous, and I saw that with my own eyes, and just seeing how you gotta go to study hall, you gotta go to class, you gotta go to practice, you got something scheduled for every moment of the day.
Your time is not yours.
No.
In college at all.
And this is before NIL. So I'm seeing them do all this work, and at the end of the year, if you don't perform well, they take scholarship money away from you. That's crazy. So I was there has to be another way. So I was able to get an academic scholarship and just focus on my grades, and just became a student for the first time in my life. And that was honestly very eye-opening, to just go to class and be a student and no athlete. I enjoyed every second of it. I just think at the end of the day, Kobe's competitiveness, Kobe's fire made me a Laker fan. And then when I went out to the Junior Olympics in LA that year, saw the stadium, saw Staples, I was man, this is dope. And that really kind of solidified it. And plus at the time, I would say the Rockets, they were okay. You had the T-Mac days, the Yao Ming days, but then they went through a little slide with Kmart. That team was cool. But Kmart, Scola.
Luis Scola was a dog.
Chuck Hayes.
Chuck Hayes was a dog too.
Aaron Brooks.
Aaron Brooks is a dog too. Shout out University of Oregon. Old Pac-12.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they had some dudes on the team.
I think he was Pac-10 Player of the Year 1 year.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna fact check that after this. But I'm almost positive he was Pac-10 Player of the Year 1 year.
He could shoot that thing.
Well, and he was, but like Aaron Brooks is one of those, like that old Pac-10, like those guards were nasty, and Aaron Brooks was nasty in college. Like I remember there was like a couple games where he just gave you a 30, like for no reason. It's like, why are we doing this today? And he used to kill UCLA. What made you stay with it? Post Kobe, yeah.
I think at that point it's like I love the brand. At that point it's just like, bro,
it is a brand.
The Laker brand is just, I mean, you top of the top, you cream, they like creme. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then once LeBron came over, I was past the whole, oh yeah, look, I hate LeBron. He's not worth. Like after LeBron came back from 3-1. That
was it.
That was it.
Yeah. I already respected him a lot for going back to Cleveland. And I've always said about LeBron that I wasn't upset that he left Cleveland in the first place. Like, you got to do what you got to do.
I'm not upset at anybody on that note. Like, a lot of people hate this take. I don't care if KD left.
Oh, not at all.
I have no problem.
No. He saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
He figured it out.
And he knew that if he would have stayed in OKC, not win a chip, what everyone's going to be saying for the rest of his career?
That he didn't win a chip.
He got no chip.
And now they're saying that he teamed up with the team that beat him. And it's just like, okay, I don't care. Like,
exactly.
I don't, like...
I'm a two-time.
It makes basketball sense what he did.
Yes.
And that's all I've given shit about. Does it make basketball sense? You know, that being said, like, you know, the brand of the Lakers, you know, kept you there. I think that's something to be said. I've always, you know, I grew up a Lakers fan. So, like, I didn't have a choice. So it's always interesting hearing people how they, like, chose to be Laker fans.
Yeah.
Because my dad's a Laker fan, my mom's a Laker fan, like my grand, everybody, we're all Laker fans.
And to be a Laker fan, it's not easy.
No, because you constantly want more.
Yeah.
Especially now that the Celtics won.
You expect more.
Like, they got one up again on us. Like, there's this constant, like, your expectations are always high. You always have this, like, and it's like warranted expectation. It's not like Cowboys and expectation. Like, it's like we have consistently won. I remember when I was in college, we were in the Kobe years, the late Kobe years, and I had a lot of my homeboys being like, "Yo, why do you think that y'all are ever gonna be back?" And I'm like, "Cause that's what my life has been like." Like, and my dad, you know, him being an OG Laker fan, has kind of put everything in perspective for me. He was like, the Lakers have won or been in the finals my entire life, and my dad was born in the 60s.
That's crazy.
He said the Lakers have always been in the finals or have won championships my entire life, except for the 90s. They've always been or sniffing around a championship.
And then right when the 2000s started, though, back to it.
We went three in a row because we had Kobe and Shaq for 4 years at that point. We went 3 in a row. We probably would have kept winning if they didn't that up.
Man, could have been
both parties.
It could have been.
But then they get Pau Gasol. Yeah. They get Lamar Odom. They get Jordan Farmar. They get all those guys. Mitch Kupchak. And Jim Buss, who's a fucking idiot, but like
got that right.
He got Andrew Bynum.
Got that right.
He fought to draft Andrew Bynum, which got us 2 more rings. And we probably could have got 3, or at least challenged for 3, if Andrew was healthy in that first final. I think people forget about that. When the Boston beat us in 2008, Andrew Bynum was hurt. He went on the floor. So they were able to use Kendrick Perkins and able to use Kevin Garnett. We can talk about that shit all day too. But yeah, I think the brand is strong. It always has been. I think that's what keeps a lot of people around. And now that they got LeBron James, you know, it just kind of, it made sense. Yeah. We got another one in 2020. So like, we won. The last one they had won was in 2010. We didn't get one for the whole 2010s, but then we got one in the first year of the new decade. We got another one. So the Lakers will always be around. I think that's just one of those things. Like, as long as they have competent people in the front office, they're going to be able to figure out to get guys to LA and then continue to draft well. Like, that's the key. That's the key, and I think that's the thing that has saved me with Rob Pelinka a lot, is the fact that they draft well. as I said, like, you know, again, we're in college football season. Like, it's here now. So what are, you know, some of the things, like, why do you love college football? Like, why is this something that, like, because I don't know, like, how I feel, man, is just like, it feels like the air is cleaner. You know what I'm saying? Like, every song that plays on your playlist that day is a banger. It's like that type of feeling. Like,
Yeah, bro.
You know, that first bite of, like, your granny's, you know, sweet potato pie. Like, it's just like, it gives you that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So what is that for you? And is it that for you?
Yeah, it's weird because I went to school that didn't have a football program.
Right.
So my love for college football has only grown from ground zero since I graduated. And of course, like, growing up, I was a Texas fan. Like, I remember when they won the national championship that night. It was past my bedtime.
Oh, in 05?
Yeah, it was past my bedtime. And so you're a young man. But my parents sent me upstairs in the fourth quarter. But back then, I was still like I was one of those, like, sneaky kids that, like, never got caught, but was smart enough to not get caught.
Toxic.
But yeah, Brent Fayez. But I'm on the radio. I have a radio in my room, and so I was able to find the AM dial.
Oh, wow.
And listen in to the final call when Vince runs it in, and I started, like, screaming, like, yeah. My mom screaming, aren't you supposed to be asleep up there? I'm like, my bad. Would you send me up here when it's the middle of the game? What do you expect? So, yeah, I've been a Texas fan a lot of my life. But then once I got to college, you know, that kind of went away since I had my own school to support. And eventually, after college, and started to really study college football and started covering college football, because now my first job was in Midland, Odessa. So I was in West Texas. Texas Tech is huge out there. And I started to hear the stories about why people love Tech, why people go from Midland to Lubbock, back to Midland. Like, they don't leave West Texas because they love their region and they love their school and their alma mater. So I started to see the passion. And I think that's what makes college football different. And same with high school football. Like, the genuine passion for the players and for the university and for the values and for the history that each program holds, and it's all different, right? To me, that's what makes it so cool and interesting. And, like, there's a lot of passionate NFL fans, but to me, it's just not the same passion, right? There's deep-rooted investment, I feel like, in college football. And so you can feel it when you're at the stadium. You can feel it when it's 3rd and 5 and they start playing Mo Bamba. Like, you can feel it. And I think that's why I love college football so much, because you can sense the camaraderie. And now being in the mix of college football, you also can recognize the work, the grind, the fall camp that's happening right now. And when they make it to the Sugar Bowl, when they make it to the Rose Bowl, like, you know where they started. And you've been following along with them for so long, and you want them to succeed because there's a lot of great human beings on that football field.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just want them to have success. And I think that's why I love this sport so much, and it's only evolved since I've gotten older about my love for college football.
Yeah, man. You know, I grew up, you know, hearing Keith Jackson, and you know, now I was an adult, like Gus Johnson, like, call these games, and I used to be like, I want to do that. Like, I want to be on the field and have these, like, legendary, you know, play-by-play guys, like, say my name and things like that. Like, I grew up, like, I was thankfully for opportunities to interview Ricky Williams. Like, that was my guy growing up. I used to love Ricky Williams. Like, he's like one of my favorite running backs of all time, especially in college. And it's just one of those things, like even hearing you talk about it and like I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah. Like, cause it's just like a feeling, like it's something that I've taken with me and I've, you know, wanted to be a part of since I was a kid. And I think now that, like you said, like getting a chance to like cover these kids and like talk to them and be in their space has only, you know, elevated that.
Yeah.
It's only made it something that is like, okay, right, I see the path, I've seen the journey, I got to know you as a person. Like, yeah, I want this for you. Like, I would never say I root for Texas, but there are a lot of kids on Texas's roster that I'm like, I hope good things for them.
Yeah.
Like, I was very hard on Quinn Ewers, coming out of high school. I've told you.
Yeah.
But he's, to a certain extent, proven me wrong. Like, and the kid is a good kid, at least on the surface. Like, you don't get a chance to know these guys all the way through sometimes. Right. Private.
Walking life.
Right, exactly. But he just seems like a decent kid, like, when you just talk to him. So it's just like, I don't want everybody just to on the kid. He's still a kid.
Yeah. At the end of the day.
Yeah, they're still, I think that's the thing that people forget about, like, especially with college sports and high school sports, is that these are real life children. Like, even though college guys are 18, 19, 20, 23 years old, whatever, they're still so young and infant in their development that you have to, and their whole life is this. So you got to give them space to, like, grow and, like, be people sometimes
and make mistakes,
whether it's on the field or off of it. You know what I mean? So that being said, like, you being, what is it now? Year 3 in covering
in Austin,
covering Texas football.
Crazy,
that is wild. Just talk about, is the hype real? Coming off of college football playoff appearance, college football expansion, playoff expansion, all those things this season. But do you think that they have what it takes to reach that level, or just to stay consistent? Because I think the signs of an actual program is the consistency, like not going so much up and down.
Yeah, I do think it's not lock, but to me it's a lock. I'm gonna say I think it's a lock that they're gonna make the playoff. Like, there should be no reason why they don't reach the top 12 team.
Sure.
Talent wise.
Yes.
And I know Texas has had talent in the past. I think the difference now is Sarkisian. I do have a lot of faith in the way he's been able to build this program, and you've seen the growth year after year, and not just on records, but also just talent coming into the program, and then also talent leaving the program. Because, man, I know Jordan Whittington, when we went to Pro Day last year, he even made a comment. Well, I guess it's summer technically. Wow. He made a comment saying he remembered his sophomore year coming to watch the Pro Day, and there was 1 scout there, 2 scouts, and now this past summer, every single team in the league was at Pro Day. And just to see that growth, record-wise, talent-wise, and now talent leaving and now going to the pros, that's Sark. I mean, that all starts with Sark. And so, yeah, I think they have the right man leading the ship, and that's what gives me confidence to know that they can keep this consistency. And then, of course, the quarterback. Like, there's no questions about who the quarterback's going to be. There's no question about who the leader is. Even a lot of outside people, like, they love to talk about Arch. They love to talk about how long of a leash does Quinn have.
Not just outside. People here do it. Like, that's... Yeah, go ahead.
It's not a topic of conversation.
It's not.
Arch doesn't have any... He's not stepping on the field unless Quinn gets hurt.
Absolutely.
They could go... Quinn can go 4 for 30, throw 6 picks. If they win the game,
it doesn't
Quinn
matter.
will be starting.
It doesn't matter.
Quinn will be starting next game. So, like, I think that having that consistency at the top at the head coach and at the top on the field at quarterback is a big reason why they've been able to keep this consistency,
sure.
the consistent growth over time. And I think this year's the same year. They added talent. I am interested to see the new look, though, because this team will be different, and we talked about it a little bit, but defensively is going to be different when it comes to what their strengths are, and even offensively. I think you're going to see Quinn take a step because he has to for his career, for his money. You know what I'm saying?
And for the engine to go. Like, I think a lot of it this year is going to be on his plate. Just to wrap things up, Texas obviously is near and dear to your heart. You talked about Texas high school football earlier. Texas high school football has this, people that love it, Texans. Y'all believe everything's bigger and better.
It is.
Whataburger's kind of whack.
Kind of whack is crazy.
It's kind of whack. It's all right. It's cool. Like, the best thing on your menu is not a burger. So, like,
The honey the honey butter chicken biscuit? Or,
yeah.
Okay.
Fire.
Yeah, it's fire.
That's fire.
Honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich too.
Fire.
Yeah. But the patty melt though.
Nah.
Patty melt solid.
Nah.
All right.
It's cool, but it's still a patty melt. It's not a burger.
You know what? The best thing on the menu. That's my first job.
Y'all are a better Jack in the Box.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because y'all, there's no continuity with the menu.
Crazy.
There's no continuity.
Why does there need to be?
Because
you go to all American restaurants all the time.
It's not a restaurant. It's fast food.
But I'm just saying, there's restaurants that are just this exact same way.
Are there?
Yeah, that has like every Chili's. Chili's is a prime example.
Let's not do this.
I love Chili's.
Look, dollar margaritas. That's all I'm gonna say about. That's all I'm gonna say about Chili's.
That's fair. The best thing on the menu, bro,
is the patty melt.
No, bro.
Okay.
No. We haven't talked about it. The breakfast burger. If you haven't had the breakfast burger,
actually, yes, you are right. That's like one of the first. But you know what? I was fried.
That's the only time you eat it.
It was right. It was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and at that time I was still kind of new.
Yeah.
In the Whataburger experience, it might have been like 2018 or something like that. And the homie was like, we went to Whataburger, and I was about to get the biscuit. The honey barbecue. I mean, honey butter chicken sandwich, and he was like, bro. Try the breakfast burger.
Bro, he's a good friend.
And I was like, the fuck. He's like, I didn't even know it was on it.
You don't need to.
We just got off 6th Street.
Yeah. Good night.
We had to join over at on Barton Springs. On Barton Springs and South First.
Oh,
so I went like a little caddied over in the corner or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, all right, bet. Whatever. I'll try something new. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
The hash browns on it.
They had the hash brown. Any breakfast sandwich with the hash brown on the sandwich, I'm done. Like, I'm sold. Like, you ain't got to explain.
Yeah.
You ain't got to explain.
I'll take 2, please.
Yeah. Big facts. But yeah, so that's the best thing on the menu. I didn't mean to get it started off in the wrong direction.
No, he's straight. We can reel it in.
On this conversation.
Texas high school football.
What about it? You talked about it a little bit before, like the atmosphere and things like that. But like, what about it, resonates so much with you? You obviously played in high school too. So just talk a little bit about like why it is so endearing to your heart.
I don't think I really, I'm not gonna say understood, but I don't think I really acknowledged how important it is to these communities until I went out to West Texas for my first job.
Yeah.
Because growing up in Pearland, 6A school, big school, we're going to make playoffs every year. Like, it's not a question. The question is how far in the playoffs we're going to go.
Right.
And that just got so monotonous that, like, okay, yeah, like, this is what we do. And the whole city supports, we'll do it. But then we got another high school in Pearland, Dawson, that got established. So then you kind of split the support. And so when I went out to West Texas and Midland, like, to see Midland Lee versus Permian, or even like Permian versus Odessa High, Odessa versus Odessa, and the whole city still shuts down. Cause you see the movies, Friday Night Lights. Like, I watched that movie growing up, and I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, that's dope. We don't do that here in Pearland. Gas stations closed, convenience stores closed, everyone's at the game, and for it to still be a thing decades later, to me, that is what high school football in Texas is. Packing out 20,000 stand stadiums, packing out 40,000 seat stadiums, and driving around the city and wondering where the heck is anybody at. And it's like, oh, you see those stadium lights in the background? They're all over there. That's when I was just like, yeah, this is Texas high school football. And that's the biggest reason why the UIL hasn't approved NIL for Texas. It's just like, yeah, Florida's doing it. They're a top-notch high school. Too, yeah. Cali's doing it. But they don't want to take away from the community. And that's, to me, what sets Texas apart in high school. Because the community means so much. These kids go to church with these parents. These parents are watching their sons grow up together in Pee-wee football.
Right.
And they could have a worse team, but that's little Johnny that you grew up with, so we're going to stick with this team. To me, that's Texas. And I think that's why I feel like Texas high school football is so special here, because it just, I hate to say like SEC, but it does mean more to me in Texas. High school football does mean more. And being in Odessa and Midland and seeing the tears, seeing the blood, the sweat, like in that West Texas heat, and knowing that like y'all know y'all not gonna make state. For being honest, like y'all know y'all not, you know, y'all can't beat Duncanville, y'all can't beat DeSoto, but the belief that they could, and still the agreements between the whole team, like we're gonna work our butts off just to get beat in the second round. Like that to me is a prime example of how much they care out there. And yeah, it was just dope. It was dope to experience that. It was dope to drive around and cover it. And you know, getting phone calls Friday nights. Like we used to, at my old station, bro, we used to get phone calls all the time throughout the night for people who didn't go to the game to give score updates. They would call the station, the TV station. Be like, hey, do you have the Permian score? I'm like, no, we don't. Like, we don't. I could check Twitter, you know, but they cared that much about the community that they were wanting to be up to date each quarter. All right, what's the score now? What's the score now? You don't see that. To me, I haven't seen it. Like, you don't see that in Houston. You don't see that in Dallas. Like, you see that in these small communities, and I think that's what sets Texas apart.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I've always said that, like, Texas in general has the atmosphere locked down. I don't see that in Florida high school football. I don't see that in California. Being a California kid, like, we did a good job of it in my high school, but it's still nothing like I've seen at Weiss or LBJ or Westlake, Lake Travis, like where the set and setting.
Vandergrip's up there.
Vandy's up there too.
And Drip.
You know, Drip. If you go down to San Antonio, the Judsons, the Johnsons, all those schools down, the Steels, all those schools. Like that's where Texas has it. Period. Point blank. I think California has more of a concentration of, like, Cali high school football to me is just electric. Like, it's the electricity of it all is what, because we, to your point, like, don't nobody get by any other sport here except football, for real. Like, I mean, you be out here covering these games. Like, they're not packing the gyms for basketball season a lot. Like,
unless you're in Dallas.
And Houston too.
Yeah,
Dallas and Houston, they hoop.
Yates was at the top of the top.
Even still, like, you know, shout out to Coach Eddie Barlow, assistant coach over at Yates right now.
Like, you did a story.
Yeah, that's my guy. Legitimate lifelong friend now, but like he, you know, they pack it in like over there. You know what I'm saying? They're 3A, but like, you know, Duncanville, they got a nice crib, you know, for a nice gym. Yeah. DeSoto, like all those same schools that are good in football, they basketball team lit too. It's McKinney's.
Well, I would say Waxahachie.
Waxahachie's really good at basketball as well.
Got a nice little squad.
But it's still a football state. Yeah. Whereas Cali, it's spread around. You know, football's big, but basketball's huge. You know, baseball's huge, softball's huge, volleyball. Like it's just a sports state for real. But the football in itself, standalone, is still it's not as much of a vibe, but like the level of talent that you just randomly run into in California, I feel like is almost second to none. Like it's really just like every week, and everybody's like, you know, it's a public school, stay here. It's a private school, stay there. Even the public schools, man, out there, it's nothing like here where like the private schools are just clearly a level below. Yeah. Out in California, like the private schools.
Aren't the private schools the ones that are better?
They are, but they still got to see public school football. Like it ain't like they just head and shoulders above. Like, and they also play each other. So like where here it's separate leagues completely, which I think is bull. They do that here to keep it public school. Like I get it, like whatever. But out there, it's like y'all still got to see us at some point. Like last year, Folsom, California public school won state last year at 1A, which is that's our highest league. We have open division 1A, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. They won state public school. You know, we have Mission Viejo, we have Corona Centennial. Like they have schools out there that are really good public school programs. So I just think that like being a kid that went to a junior college and played with kids from Texas and Florida, it is kind of remarkable how good high school football is and has become. But that being said, as we wrap it up here, we're definitely gonna have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
At some point, 3, 4, 5, whatever, because we could do this forever. Like I told y'all, we're basically the same people. We love to talk and we just love sports.
Big yapper.
Big yapper. big main character energy on both sides of the table for sure. Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Texas. Well, actually, no. I don't like saying Mount Rushmore anymore because colonizers and everything. Top 4.
Okay.
Top 4 Texas high school football players ever that you've seen or that just have like a place that stays with you.
Yeah, I'll do one that I haven't seen. The other ones I'm gonna say I've seen.
Okay.
Just because I feel like I've seen enough.
I think that's basically how mine is. I think too.
Yeah, seen enough high school football to kind of make my own top 3.
Sure.
And one, Kyler.
Oh.
Saw him.
Yeah.
That's who we play at state.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, so you had a front row seat.
We were down by 6 at half. Like in it.
Felt good.
Felt good. Felt real good. 19-13. Like, all this hype. I kid you not, bro.
That shit was real.
He came out the second half.
That shit was real.
Switch cleats. I would never forget this, bro. Had all white. Switch came out in the all red. I don't know if he just got like a +5 speed boost with those cleats, but the way he moved in the pocket, and I will never like forget the way Kyler moved in the pocket because it was all controlled. I've seen dudes like Braylon Addison is a guy that comes to mind from Hightower. And when he took off, he's running. Now, he would escape the pocket crazy, but he's running. Kyler would stay in the pocket while still maneuvering away from defenders, but still keep his feet and throw bombs. And like that second half was one of the most electric quarterback play I've ever seen in a high school football game ever. And proved why he's never lost in high school. So yeah, Kyler's one. Another guy I saw in person who didn't really make it big, but he had one of the best performances I've ever seen. Rodney Anderson went to Oklahoma. Okay. Played running back. He played at Katy High School. Okay. I went to go see a rival high school, Pearland Dawson. They played Katy in like the second round. Had a lot of homies on that team. And Rodney Anderson, big commit, OU, 4-star. I'm just like, okay, let's see what he's doing. 6 touchdowns. 6 touchdowns. 5 in the first half. They shut him down. I was like, yeah, this game's out of reach. No need to rush him anymore. 6 total touchdowns. 5 in the first half. Just dominated. And I was like, okay, he's going to OU. And he was on that team with Kyler, I believe. He started for a season at OU. Don't know if he ever made it to the league, but yeah, it turned out pretty decent. And the other guy I would name is, man, it's a toss-up between like Jonte. I saw Jonte.
Cook.
Yeah.
Was a problem.
See Jonte. Because I don't know if I want to go old or new, because this new age of kids, when I watched Colin Simmons play, wrecked.
Yeah.
And then DeCorian.
Yeah, next time we'll do ones we cover.
Yeah.
I didn't cover anybody in California, but I could at least like do a newer era, because like I debated putting CJ Stroud on there because I saw him play.
Yeah.
Once I heard about him, and I was like, oh, Ohio State got a good one. Like because he's another kid, stayed at a public school, stayed at Rancho Cucamonga, probably could have went to Mater Dei and any of those other private schools, stayed public and was killing my. And Rancho had always been a really good program, they had a really good athletic program, but they had never gotten to where like he took it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, different. You know what I'm saying? So like next time we'll do more current. Awesome. Like, Jonte should still. I do support Jonte being on there too.
Jonte was different, but I'll name someone from Pearland. Fozzie Whitaker. So Fozzie,
that's a big one.
And I was, young, watching him, but he was a close friend. So he's a family friend. Like, we were cool with my sisters, so he used to come by the crib. Fozzie watched me grow up, basically.
Oh hell yeah!
And him playing running back, and me being young, I didn't understand how great he was, and I'm just watching him run touchdowns. I'm like,
it's just normal.
And the next thing I know, he's playing for Texas.
Right,
I was like,
right.
oh, he must have been really good if he's playing for Texas. So watching Fozzie. I mean, and they made it to state. No, they didn't make it. They lost the round before state, and they lost to a school out here. I want to say it was Nick Foles.
Okay, Westlake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lost to Nick Foles. And Fozzie was electric. But the one guy that I didn't see play, that's on my Mount Rushmore, or not listed column that's on my top 4, Cedric Benson.
Yes. That's
So
a really
being in
good.
West Texas,
Midland Lee, right?
Midland Lee. Now Legacy, they changed the name.
As they should have.
Yeah, Midland Legacy. They talked a lot about Cedric, and the way.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Cedric. Cedric Benson was just dominant, and
Yeah.
we had old footage.
Oh, okay.
Because we covered the station covered
Yeah,
back
sure.
then, and I would just watch those clips, and it just looked unfair.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like a 30-year-old
Yeah,
playing
he looked
against
like a grown,
15.
he looked like a grown ass man. He did.
Yeah.
At Midland Lee, he did look like a grown ass man. That's
Running
crazy.
through people. Literally running through. And that team was stacked. They had Eric Winston. Shout out Houston Texan. Great. He playing tight end. And they had some dudes on that roster. And so Cedric Benson's up there for me in the top 4 as well.
Man, that's a solid list. It's hard. It was hard for me to not make this almost 4 running backs because we've had some good ones for sure. It was also hard not to do 4 quarterbacks. So, but I got to put a defensive guy in there. So, first, can't do a top 4 without Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush. Most of these guys are the guys I didn't actually see myself, but grew up hearing about and then seeing their highlights later. And Reggie Bush was just, I don't have to say too much else.
Yeah.
It's Reggie Bush. Helix High School, San Diego. Just everything I wanted to be as a running back. Just shifty, catch the ball out of the backfield. I think he had almost 6,000 yards or some all-purpose yards in high school. Just an absolute freak of nature. And it was even more impossible to touch him in high school than it was in college, if you can believe that. So that's number 1. Number 2, Longhorns great. Longhorns legend. Ricky Williams, San Diego, California. So one of my favorite running backs of all time. Probably my favorite running back as a kid from San Diego, California. A lot of people don't know that. Also a great baseball player. So
Didn't know that.
Yeah, great baseball player. He grew up, he's a big Padres fan, being from San Diego. He's a big Tony Gwynn fan.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he's an exceptional baseball player as well. Number 3, I wrestled with this one, but I got to put him in there. Deshaun Jackson, man. Southern California, Northern California, they do a really good job since I was a kid of showing the game of the week.
Gotcha.
Throughout the entirety of Southern California. So I got a chance as a kid that wanted to be playing on Friday Night Lights, be able to see it, to see it, feel it, touch. And before I get more into it, shout out to Harvard Westlake legend Taj Morey, smart guy. Smart guy, the kid that plays smart guy, was a dog at running back. Oh my God! I'm gonna find some clips and play it over this. Taj Morey was a dog in high school. I think he went to Savannah State.
Okay.
In college, I think he played a little bit there, or whatever. But in high school, he was little. He was 5'6" running back or whatever in high school. Dog, ran through, broke tackles, shifty, make you miss, all that, caught the ball at the backfield, great screen pass.
Never guess.
Great straight up. It was crazy because it was it's a story because it's Taj Morey, right? It's Tia Tamara's, little brother, and he's a smart guy, all that stuff, and but he's out there killing fools. He has one of the most disputed touchdowns in California high school football history. He's Harvard Westlake against Hart High School, and it was an overtime play, and he was down before
crossing the goal line,
but they called it a touchdown on the field, and there's no review.
No replay.
There's no review.
Wow.
So they called it a touchdown, and they won the game.
No replay.
Crazy.
So you went back and saw he was down.
Oh, it shows. They had more. It's a production. It's an actual production, like Bally's or whatever. It's Fox Sports. Fox Sports West used to do these games.
So they were doing replays.
Oh yeah, so you see it. You could see that his knee was clearly down before, like they had like you know, it wasn't before 4K, but like they had like this, they had that on his knee, and the ball was like being stretched out.
Imagine social media was a thing.
Oh my god! It's like 2000. It's like when I was in high school, so it was like 2000, or right before I was like when I was either a freshman or like getting ready to go into high school, whatever. It's like 2004, 2005 before I was on varsity or whatever. But yeah, crazy. But yeah, number 3 definitely Deshaun Jackson. The point was like I got a chance to see a lot of those guys when I was junior high, high school and stuff, and be able to see him. So I got to see a lot of him play on the team. I think he was on the same team with Mercedes Lewis too. So like he was. I tried to crack him in there, but I couldn't do it. Last dude, number 4, Bobby Wagner.
Dog.
Bobby Wagner, Colony High, public school.
Okay.
Public school. I think everybody I've named has been public school kids too.
Okay.
I think I did that intentionally.
That's good.
But Bobby Wagner at Colony High School in Ontario, California, IE legend. Played both ways.
Yeah.
Played tight end, played linebacker. He's a year older than me. So I got to see him in 4K. I would see him at like 7-on-7s and stuff like that. Dog.
Yeah.
And
I can't imagine.
And would give you 15 on the basketball court.
Oh. Yeah.
Played power forward for Colony High School.
We talking post up or just dunking on people?
Post, more like,
Yeah.
Had a little midi.
Okay.
Had some handle.
Yeah, some bag.
He had a little bag because you can't, playing basketball in California, you can't be regular.
Okay.
Like, you have to have a bag. Like, you have to have a handle, like, because the way we play on the court, like, blacktops and stuff, like, everybody has a skill set. Like, everybody has, like, very versatile. So, like, yeah, he was, he could get a bucket, but, like, he was definitely a post guy, set screens, rebound, things like that. But yeah, a dual sport, letterman.
He playing for the Commanders now, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But obviously been tearing up the league for this whole 15 years, I think, in the league and everything like that. So that's my top 4.
Did you ever see? And this I was an Oregon fan growing up. I didn't mention that.
Yeah,
I followed Texas.
He should have been in the D'Anthony Thomas.
Okay, so you knew where I was going.
Mamba should be in there too.
I was about to say, did you see him?
Yes.
So he was like that.
Yes. Yes. At Crenshaw.
I was a big D'Anthony Thomas guy.
You know what? As you say that, I'm taking Jax out.
Yeah, putting D'Anthony in.
I gotta put Mamba in there.
I mean, when he came to Oregon, that's when I was big in Oregon because I followed the Jeremiah Masoli. I was the Darren Thomas.
Yes,
sure. that. That's when I started to hop on. So then by that time, like, it was Mariota.
Yeah.
But I remember D'Anthony's first game.
Yeah.
As a true freshman.
Yeah.
And they had a whole graphic for him.
Yeah.
Black Mamba, played for Snoop Dogg's team. Ran this time in the 100.
Yeah, one state.
Like
one CIF in 100, and broke my uncle, who's like my play uncle, my best friend's father. Shout out Damon McVeigh. Was the record holder for the 100 at Crenshaw High School for decades.
Yeah,
because I think he ran there in the 80s. D'Anthony torched his record. And he knew he was coming. Like, because you heard about the kid in Pee Wee.
That's crazy.
Like that's the reason why that's the reason why I had to put him in the top 4. It was because I forgot about it. I forgot how ridiculous that kid was. Because you started hearing about him playing Pee Wee football.
That's crazy. And those kids never pan out
because the hype is too big.
Exactly.
And they never grow. The speed catches up to them, the size catches up to them. Not him. Not him. He stayed, to his credit, he stayed at Crenshaw all 4 years.
Oh, okay. That's not a thing?
No. Okay. Like I tell you, like a lot of the kids, to everybody's point about California football, it is a private school ran state. The De La Salles, the Boscos, the Mater Days run shit. Ask Steve Sarkisian because he's got a couple.
Always recruiting out there.
He got a couple kids from those schools.
Brandon Baker
on the roster right now. DeAndre Moore.
Where's he from? Bosco?
Mater Dei. But yeah, D'Anthony Thomas. So a lot of kids will stay. Kayvon Thibodeau's another kid like that. He was at Dorsey City School, LA School. Went to Oaks Christian after his sophomore year. So it's plausible and logical for these kids to be like, well, I'm not getting it. Like I want to win. Like in the city schools, unfortunately, over the last 10, 15 years, they used to win, be in the running for state. And over the last 15 years, so like the funding and all these things like have led kids to go to other schools and stuff like that. So, thanks, man, for tapping in. Again, we can do this all day.
Yeah, this is part one.
This is just part one of a anthology of a series. But just tell everybody where they can find you, man. What you're working on and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. Luckily, I have a great name that like no one else has. So Cory_Mose, M-O-S-E, not Moses, just Mose. On Twitter, on IG, Cory_Mose TV, and anywhere else, just Cory Mose, just my name. I'm actually working on a couple projects. One, I just interviewed Rodney Terry, had a one-on-one with him just about the summer, about the new roster.
Shout out RT.
Shout out RT.
Solid
man.
dude.
I want him to be successful.
Me
so
too.
bad,
Me too. Facts.
But we went over some film together, and so we did all that, broke some film down, stuff like that. So I'm excited for that to come out. That's not going to be later till basketball season gets here. But I'm working on a project for football with this company called Brain Vault. It's like a mouthpiece company. Okay. They reduce the risk of concussions. And their biggest thing is like that whole Guardian helmet thing doesn't work. Yeah.
It's pointless.
They're saying it's pointless. They say like it helps out like trauma or like if you want to protect like the skull.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to concussions, yeah, it's not really doing much. Now, mind you, this company they have like NFL partners, and they started in the NFL. Now it's trickled down because the prices have gone down, so they have more revenue, so they don't have to charge as much. And so now it's at the high school level. Like Vandergrift uses it, Drip uses it, like Travis. Schools that have some bread, but college ranks too. Texas uses it. Even the cheerleaders at Texas, they have mouthpieces. I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They have mouthpieces in there to prevent concussions. And the way it works is just they align your jaw with, they take moldings of your top and bottom teeth, make sure it's aligned properly. Because when you do get hit, or when you're embracing a hit, you clench. And when you clench your teeth, if it's misaligned, that's how kind of your neck strength goes down. And that's their basis, that neck strength prevents concussions, not how much safety you have on your head. And so once you have your teeth aligned and you clench and it's properly aligned, your neck strength increases.
Gotcha.
And so they're just able to kind of increase neck strength, but then reduces the risk of concussions. And I'm trying to make all the information TV related. And that's the hard part, to not sound like super nerdy and informational.
Yeah.
You know, because TV people, they don't want to hear, that.
Tense Spanish short.
Yeah. So I've been trying to figure out how the heck am I going to.
Hey, fucking shit helps. Like you know what I'm
saying. Like, I'm not trying. I interviewed the doctor. He had these like medical terms. Like, this is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to make it entertaining, but I think it is something that a lot of parents would want to invest in.
Sure. My kids ain't playing football.
You don't think so? Okay. What if your wife is like, no, I want them to play football?
I mean, we could talk about it. Like, if they want to play, like, I'm not gonna like adhere if I'm blessed to have kids one day. But like, as far as like pushing them to play, nah.
Well, the funny thing about it,
I've seen what it's done to my body, so I just don't want to put that on anybody else.
I can imagine. And it's like at the end of the day, and this is what I always go back to, the financial side. If we're being honest, if you're not a quarterback, there's really not. It's not very, or receiver.
Like the dividends.
Like wide receiver, DN, and quarterback. If you're not one of those three positions, corners are only getting paid like that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Because of the receivers.
Exactly. And so, like, I think, like, if you're not one of those three prime positions that get paid like that, every position in basketball is getting paid.
Go play baseball.
Every position in baseball is getting paid. Hell, golf. Scotty Scheffler makes so much money. Tennis. And you don't got to be the best.
No.
You don't gotta be the best.
Make the cut.
Exactly.
Make the cut.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, not only is this sport super violent, but also the payout isn't worth the violence.
It's a true gladiator sport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough. I've really struggled with it because I love football.
Yeah.
But I know firsthand what it means to be a football player. And it sucks. Like my little brother is, planning on walking on UCLA. And I told him, I'm like, hey, is this what you want to do?
You could just enjoy your life.
Is this what you want to do? Is this what Pops wants you to do? Like, because my Pops is a big football guy, like football coach, 20 years of his life, 30 years of his life. Really smart football X's and O's guy, but like, he literally bleeds the shit. But like, hey, you don't, if you just want to go play, just go to school at UCLA, like no one's gonna look at you different. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, nah, I love this shit. I'm like, well, you're definitely my little brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get it, you know. So he's gonna walk on. He's gonna walk on at UCLA. I'm proud of him for, you know, he's working hard. He's working hard right now, like he's, you know, gonna walk on in the spring because that's when spring walk-on tryouts are. So he's using this year essentially as a red shirt. Just gonna work out and train hella crazy, and then just, you know, go to walk-on tryouts in the spring. So I'm proud of him, and, you know, I can't say enough about that.
Well, best of luck to him, bro.
Yeah, best of luck. You know, Braylon Charles, I love you. But yeah, man, you know, I love when we get a chance to do this. You know, you know how I feel about you. This kid, this grown ass man. I ain't calling you kid because we're, you know.
No, you straight.
But I've always looked at you as like, you know, somebody who is, you know, leading himself the right way, carrying himself the right way. You always show a lot of love to people when you first meet them. And me and this guy, the way we met, it was just, you know, organic. You know, it was very much I want to see you win, you know, reciprocation there. For a lot of us, you know, there's not a lot of, you know, black reporters on beat. So a lot of us just kind of mold together, and there's no beef. There's obviously like a natural, you know, competitive fire that we all share being athletes, former athletes and things like that. But it's never like we're trying to step on each other. Yeah. It's always like, you know, I get better by you being your best, and vice versa. There's things that I see in you that I'm like, okay, there's things I can make part of myself, and I hope that I can reciprocate that to you as well. Like, and I've always just, you know, I'm just proud of you, man. You do the things the right way. You carry yourself the right way. You're a beam for little black boys and girls in the city of Austin to be able to see you carry yourself and be your authentic self on camera. So I just want to tell you to your face that, man, I really appreciate what you do. That's why I want to bring people on this show to like pull that mask off a little bit and get to know people a little bit more than what their expertise and what their titles are. And thank God that I've been able to meet so many talented people, and you're one of those people. So I just want to make sure that I give you your flowers and let you know that, hey, man, we see you. I see you.
Thank you, bro.
I see you out here working. I know you work hard, and, you know, I'm excited to continue to see you grow in this business because I know, you know, this ain't it for you. You got a bright future ahead of you. So I just want to tell you that on wax and let you know that to your face. You know, black men got to lift each other up. We got to do that positive talk with each other. You know what I'm saying? So
lift as we climb.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So this has been a great talk. You know, again, we'll do more of these, and I just appreciate everybody tapping in. Again, the music that you'll hear on this show is from my boy Corbin Howard Butler. Corbin Butler is his name. Amazing rapper and producer. His new music is out now. Got To and Eater out where you get your music, Apple, Spotify, all the things. So make sure you tap in. And thanks again, y'all, for tuning in. Peace. I hit the wrong button. Did not mean to do that. No cap.
Authenticity.
Love.